Ladies and gentlemen, there's an awful lot going on in tonight's lesson plan. Before I get into the critique of the movie and the lesson plan, I have to explain something to you called breaking down. This is a cultural phenomenon occurring in Japan. Basically, what it is two fighters enter a ring. It doesn't matter what their style is, what school they go to, or even what form of fighting they have. That's irrelevant. The two fighters have one round, 1 minute long, to square off and see who's the best. That's it. No rounds, no planning out strategy. You have 1 minute in the ring. Who's the better man? Interesting concept. It's huge over in Japan. And now a legendary filmmaker from Japan has taken Breaking Down and made it into a movie. Cinematic class is about to begin, and your professor is in. Greetings, salutations, another sundry affair. I am your cinematic professor and purveyor of truth in movies. And tonight's movie is called Blazing Fists. A little bit of a caveat here. It was originally called Blue Fight. Okay. So some of the older ads, you may see it actually tagged as Blue Fight, but it is now officially Blazing Fists. And this is from our folks at Wellgo USA. It will open at the end of this month, the end of March, and you'll be able to see it in a limited theater run, and then slightly after that on your streamers. The legendary director I mentioned is Takashi Miike. Well, this guy has done. He has a pretty impressive bevy of films in his arsenal. Uh, Probably one of the better ones was Ichi the Killer. Um, Ichi the Killer was so brutal. It was banned in several countries, and that ban remains in effect. If you get a chance to watch it, it's really something worthwhile. When that came out, I kind of figured that Takashi had left the YA version of movies and gone on to more adult movies. But that is not necessarily true because Blazing Fists fits nicely into the YA medium. Okay, kind of reminiscent of his movie Crow Zero, and talk a little bit about that later on in the review. But for now, let me tell you a little bit about this story. We have two youths. Okay, one is Aikuto, and the other is Ryoma, and they're delinquents. Okay, they're they're in juvie center. All right, they go to a lecture by the leader and founder of Breaking Down, and they are so inspired by his talk to them and how they can redo their lives and make something of themselves that they decide this is what they want to do. They want to enter the Breaking Down contest and become champion fighters. But they're going to find out along the way that before they can do that, they're going to have to clean up a lot of skeletons from their closet from previous years. Here's a look now at Blazing Fists.
懲りねえな、お前。
どうした年少が悪い。んなもんか。
ちなみに今夢のある方っていますか？
ブレイキングダウン、日本中からさ、1分1ラウンドで試合するの。
その代わりまた少年にぶっ込まれるようなことは二度とやんね。
やりたいことができた。リングに上がって戦う。
やんのか、戦と。俺はもう止まらねえよ。
あいつ
ブレイキングダウンに出るとかふかしてる奴らの格闘ごっこ見学に来たんだよ。
今は吉祥丸の下かよ。がっかりだぜ。
やぐら生田だろ。やろうぜ。
ガキ。日のために頑張ってきたんだろ。
ああ、まだやる？でもよ、龍馬。そんな理由で人見捨てて、勝っても喜べねえよ。
Okay, in front of the camera, let's talk a little bit about our two main stars. Donnie Kinoshita plays Ikuto, and Kanami Yoshizawa plays Ryoma. It's kind of interesting the way these guys got the part because Takashi Mike actually held a type of breaking down audition to make the cast. He had these wannabe actors compete against one another, which is, I mean, they do that all the time when they go to auditions or what have you. But this was actually like a contest thing where he would pit two actors against each other to see how they worked, and then pick. These were the two lucky guys that made it, and people are going to be surprised because a little halfway into the movie and past. The stars of the Crow Zero movie actually show up in this movie and have a part to play and a role to play. And a lot of the people who love the Crow Zero movies thought this was fantastic. Alrighty, behind the camera on this, I told you Takashi Mike is the main guy. And I had mentioned that he had done a YA movie, and this is going back to the YA. For those of you who don't follow my reviews on shame on you first. Secondly, YA is young adult, okay, and it's a movie that is geared just like the novels, the YA novels. It's geared toward a younger audience. This movie is that way. This is like the beach blanket bingo type movies. They're meant for a younger audience. They're meant for kids. A lot filled with a lot of teenage angst, and adults will sit through them, but they're not on that level. They're a little take them with a grain of salt. Okay. Another thing I want to mention from behind the scene is Mikuru Asakura. He is actually the man who invented breaking down. He's the guy that put this all together and started this whole breaking down phenomena in Japan. It was his autobiography that Takashi grabbed and said, let's turn this into a movie somehow. And he actually makes an appearance in the movie as himself and has a couple of scenes in there where he's talking to the kids and what have you. So, in conclusion, this movie was a little bit disappointing. I didn't think that Takashi Mike would go back to making the kids movie. Well, can't really call it a YA movie. I didn't think he would go back there. It was a really good ploy to tie in the cast from Crow Zero and bring those together. It's like combining the Jurassic Park with the Jurassic World crew and put them all together in one movie. So that part of it was pretty fun. Uh, but this is definitely not an adult, if you will, tale. Uh, pardon me. It's largely predictable. Most of those YA movies are. This one is too. It's also too long. Asian films are just always that way. And the fight scenes are 50-50. And what I mean by that is 50% of them are choreographed well and shot and played well. And the other half, a little bit sketch. So take as you can with the fight scenes in this movie. And certainly that's what it borders all around. This one was a little bit disappointing, I got to admit. Probably going to give it a little below average grade. And now that you have learned what you have learned, here ended your lesson